Yay! We're
Yay.
live. Hi, welcome viewers or viewer. Here we are for session 4 of Graveyard RIFTS, a Homebrew Shomebrew production. As usual, I'm GM Elms, and I'll be running the game this evening. Going to give everybody an opportunity to introduce themselves and remind the audience about their character. So, Ludo, we're going to start with you. Then you pick the next person.
Okie dokie. Hi, my name's Ludo. I play the character of Taggart, the shifter. Do I need to go into full details, or is that pretty much good?
I think that's good. Just character's name, what they are. I think that's all that we need.
He is a shifter, and also is accompanied by his faithful companion Nibs, the raccoon.
Yes.
Let's go over to Jan, because I haven't actually gotten to meet you.
Yes. I'm playing David Kokwa, an Polynesian Islander firewater elemental fusionist who revels in the power of steam and fire. And
Sounds
next,
good.
I choose Liv.
Well, my character's name is Liv. She is a juicer, and her favorite possession is her motorcycle.
Are you talking about her tarantula jet bike?
I am. I had so much fun getting to actually use all of my Mario Kart things with my oil slick and whatnot last time.
So what I'm hearing is we need a magical banana peel in the treasure at some point.
No, we need a blue shell. Is what we need.
That's what I was going to say. Some kind of shell to throw at someone.
I need a little turtle companion who I just shoot off the back of my bike, like a little boomerang.
I have a raccoon.
PETA, do not come after us.
I really want to cuddle the raccoon next. All right, I think that means it's Ozzy's turn.
Hello, I'm Ozzy. I am a glitter boy. I run around in a 15-foot tall robot, and I shoot things with a big gun. Also, I collect trash, and I make pickles.
Okay, so if you guys recall last game, Liv and Ozzy met up with Taggart and let me double check that name. Taggart and Jack Diamond, who were actually friends of theirs, and they decided to work together since Jack Diamond and Taggart were looking for some missing Cheyenne Sioux border guards. Upon traveling, they discovered a coalition transport that had been crashed into the ground that was covered with some bizarre-looking undead that turned out to be a zombie horde underneath the control of the necromancer Vargul Gast. And the group managed to work together to take out the zombie horde and free the Cheyenne Sioux Border Patrol Party, who explained that they thought they knew where the shaman Wintersong had gone, and told you that he had been chased by a couple large humanoids with stone-like skin. And then shortly thereafter, Taggart and Jack left with the border protection people, and we're taking them back to the Cheyenne Sioux Federation. For convenience, what we're going to say happened, unless there's any objection, is that Kitnian, Maverick, and David ran into them, and Taggart decided to give David a ride back to the rest of the group, while Kitnian and Maverick and Jack Diamond took the Border Patrol guys back to the Cheyenne Sioux Federation. Does that work for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me.
Did he give him a ride, or did he run beside him?
Well, I'm hoping that when Taggart and David meet, they get along well enough that Taggart allows David to ride on the back of the motorcycle. Otherwise, it's going to take them a lot longer to catch up with you guys than I had originally imagined.
It's not comfortable, but it's available.
Maybe we have to get some kind of floating little sidecar thing for David at some point.
Or nibs.
Mm-hmm. Just this like floating raccoon coming at you over the hills at like 100 miles an hour.
Oh, Nibs needs his own hover bike now. Is that what we've decided?
Yeah,
And a scarf and goggles.
Man, we're gonna have to get a character sketch of Nibs at some point. Okay, so what is happening is Liv and Ozzy, you guys are the remaining party, and you guys are headed west along the Platte River because you are looking for the location where Wintersong has set up his sweat lodge. It's where he goes to work his big magic. You're also been told to keep an eye out for some large humanoids with stone-like skin. What are you guys up to? Are you just heading along the river? Are you trying to take like evasive maneuvers while you're doing that? What are you up to?
Between the two of us, do we know anything about large humanoids with stone-like skin?
If I recall correctly, at the end of last game, everybody tried to roll various lures to try to identify them, and we did not have any successes.
Okay, cool. I'm frightened. Liv isn't, but I am.
I'm just questioning, how did we both end up here alone?
Right? Two without any lore at all.
Right?
I have guns and you have like mech skill.
All right.
Well, everyone failed their lore checks, so the backup is the guns in the mech suit.
Yeah, I have no lore actually, like 0. So
I guess we'd try to be stealthy, but
yeah, that's actually one of my skills.
Okay.
I have like prowl and like land navigation for enemies.
Well, for example, if somebody has like intelligence or something of that nature, you could roll to see if you see like any signs of an enemy force going through here.
I have 37 for intelligence.
Okay.
Can I roll for that?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Woo, I got 11.
Okay, so that's a success. Make sure you're keeping track of your skill check successes since we are doing traditional RIFTS experience, and I want to make sure you guys get all of your experience points. So you're traveling, and after a while, you see signs that there has been a good size force that has gone through here in the recent past. You discover that whoever this is, they are not very sophisticated militarily, so there's not been much done to cover their tracks, and they are on foot. Part of what you find in the intelligence check is you actually find the scraps of what looks to be like a buffalo that has just been devoured.
Like raw?
Yeah.
Don't like that.
And
can I
it's
say
also
something? Can I make an interjection even though I'm not there?
Sure.
Is it possible that they don't care whether or not they're being tracked? Did it look like that they weren't trying to cover the tracks? Is it possible that they just don't care?
All sorts of things are possible in the Rift universe.
Does it look like...
That would be my guess, is that they just don't care whether we track them or not. So that's why they're not making any attempt to hide their passing.
Are they shambling like those undead we fought should have been if they weren't being controlled?
You got a really good intelligence check, so I'm going to say you don't see signs that are indicative of those undead creatures. Like you do see the occasional like living creature along the path. This particular like ripped apart buffalo that you found. This heat wave that you guys have been experiencing continues. So it's almost like jerky in the sun, only covered with flies and all sorts of nasty ichor.
Okay. Are we seeing like boot prints or like bare footprints?
They're actually very large human-like footprints that are.
Oh, okay.
Could I roll preserve food and see if I can get any meat off of this buffalo?
I'm going to tell you absolutely not.
Okay.
Not safely. Like,
no. I won't
If
try
you
that.
want to go ahead and eat it and try your luck, that's fine. But this has not been properly cared for.
Well, I heard jerky and just thought, man,
It's a dry
Yeah.
age.
yeah.
You did get that level 2 boost. It might be worth it. You never know.
I went up. I'm a lot better at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm so sad here at 1.
Okay, you know what? Go ahead and roll, Rodney.
Immediate regret.
Actually, no. I got a 34 and my skill's a 45.
Okay, you can tell that this food is definitely not preserved or safe to eat.
This food isn't safe to eat. I announced to no one in particular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Liv just gives you a side eye because nobody was asking that.
I've just been staring at it for a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little concerned I'm alone with Ozzy now.
I'm assuming that you guys have been in communication via the radio.
I was actually gonna ask, could I radio
check?
Yeah, I was gonna see.
No, this is. You guys know each other's channel and everything, so no, this is just regular communication.
Okay. And then when you say large humanoid footprints, are we talking like this is like a size 12 or like the size of a person's body?
No, this is definitely not a footprint for a normal person.
Like, is the glitter boy bigger?
Does anybody have like an anatomy skill or anything?
Not present, but I do.
I got research.
Could we radio? Could we radio Taggart and say, "Hey"?
Can I do land navigation? It's on land.
If you guys want to wait for Taggart to arrive, like he's not that far behind you. So
I was actually going to suggest we radio the party and maybe wait for them. Or
okay, you can keep staring at the dead jerky, and we'll wait for them.
Okay. Taggart and David, you guys are going to be arriving on the scene. Would you like to describe your entrance?
Am I riding on the back of the behind him on a motorcycle?
It's a hover cycle, but yeah.
Hover cycle behind him. So I'm just waving, "Hi guys, I'm so glad to see you."
Oh yeah, it's David. Hey David.
So
oh my god, I hope nobody tried to eat that buffalo carcass.
It definitely doesn't look super suitable.
It's not safe to eat.
Taggart, you can
gets by you.
You can roll that anatomy check if you want.
Just for clarification, because it's technically a certain type of anatomy, would xenology be suitable?
Yes, xenology would be suitable.
Okay.
I have a question. I have lore demons and monsters.
Yes, you can roll that too if you want.
That is a 45. My limit is 35, so fail.
Taggart, this is the first time you've seen this type of track outside the Pacific Northwest. You believe that you guys are hunting the Sasquatch.
So,
David,
it's definitely Sasquatch prints right there.
So I rolled lore demons and monsters. I was supposed to get a 35, and I got exactly 35.
Okay. You put together from the description of the stone-like skin, the large footprints, the apparent willingness to rip apart a buffalo and eat it while alive. You guys are chasing what are called stone giants. These are creatures that are common for a mythological creature, but uncommon in general in this area of the world, that are roughly human shaped. They are generally 15 to 18 foot tall. Their skin is like stone, thus the stone giant name. And they have the ability to command spirits that they've captured, including a type of spirit that drains magical energy from other creatures.
Can we shoot it?
They have a very tough hide, so you can shoot it, but you have to it takes a few shots.
Okay.
Are they particularly vulnerable to magic?
No.
No. Okay.
And when you say souls, does that mean if it kills me, it keeps me?
There are some of them that are trained in a ritual that when they kill something, they can imprison the soul. So it's possible if one of them is a shaman.
Cool.
I kind of would like to avoid these things if possible, everybody. This sounds really bad. I mean, not only are they 15 feet tall, and I
But weren't
gesture
these
up
the
my neck.
creatures that were fighting the shaman that were going after?
Chasing the shaman.
So they're chasing the shaman that we're looking for, right?
So we have to beat them to him and then get out of there before they get there.
How
That's
old do
assuming
the
they're not already
tracks
there.
look? How old do these
Good
tracks look?
question.
Do you have any kind of wilderness skill that would help you with that sort of thing?
I have wilderness survival.
Same.
Yeah, I'll let you guys try that.
Okay, that is a 38 on wilderness survival.
I don't know what your percentage is. Is that a success?
My percentage is a success, so I have 50%, so I got 35.
These tracks are a few days old.
So these tracks are old. They can already be there, or they have at least a few days lead on us, so they can literally already have him.
But they're also on foot, right? I mean, it's apparently.
But you also realize they're 18 feet tall.
That's true.
So they probably move a lot faster than creatures our size do.
Are there any smaller footprints with them or any indication they have a human?
If you want to roll your wilderness survival, I can tell you.
I still only have intelligence.
Can I roll?
Yeah, somebody else can roll to get additional information.
No, I didn't pass.
Still not edible.
No. Them some big footprints, guys.
Probably Sasquatch.
Probably Sasquatch.
Okay. Are they headed due west as well?
Yes.
Elmer, is Sasquatch well known in this world? Is it a myth? How?
Is anything a
Nothing's
myth?
a myth anymore.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Have we heard of it?
Have
though?
you heard of it? Is it
Like,
public
did
knowledge?
Skeletor tell us about him?
Skeletor did not tell you anything about Sasquatch. Anybody who thinks it'd be logical that their character was somewhere out west, like the Rockies or further, might have heard of Sasquatch. So Ozzy, I think you probably heard about it in your village. It's up to you if you've seen one or not.
How far west is Tolkien?
You guys are west of Tolkien now, so it's further east than here.
Ozzy thinks he spotted some, but it could have been an elk. It was very far away, but he was very young, so he'd like to think it was a Sasquatch, and he wanted to make it.
So you didn't forget to take off its wristwatch?
Yes.
Did you try eating mushrooms?
No, he was like 7, and he's out camping with his father, and there's a Sasquatch in the distance, but it could have been a deer because at 7, everything looks like a monster.
Fair enough. Okay. I vote that we try and follow them stealthily and not fight them, but see if they have the guy we're looking for.
That sounds like the best plan to me. I definitely don't want to take these things head on if we can avoid it, seeing that they're as tall as Big Blue here. Or taller. Didn't you say 15 to 18 feet? Jeez.
How tall are you, Ozzy, in your suit?
Oh, 15 feet tall.
Oh, so you're short to them.
I'm not sure. What?
I said to them.
Oh, I'm flustered. I'm kind of just stagger off towards it. I'm going to go look at the buffalo.
Don't eat that.
I know.
So you guys can see from here, just a little bit north of you is the actual Platte River, which runs east to west. The river is a little bit lower than the land that's around it. So if you guys have the choice of either staying up, in a little bit of hilly part and traveling there, or going down and traveling right along the banks.
Higher ground is my vote.
I would think that stone monsters would probably take the rocky ground, right, and avoid the river, just out of habit. Does that seem logical? I mean, they're stone guys, so they see like a river, and then they see like a mountain path. They're like, oh, let's go up the mountain path. They don't want to go down to the river.
Yeah, but if we're down at the river and we don't see them first, they can just take 2 steps down it and crush us.
Yeah, and I guess, and as you said, we'll have the higher ground, and if they did take the river, we'll be able to see them easier. Yeah, let's take the mountain road.
Mountain road would probably be more friendly to our vehicles too.
True.
Wait, I have a boat.
You have a boat?
I have a boat. I don't think I have a boat.
Oh.
The Platte is not deep enough. Like, the river here is very.
Ozzy would still try.
We could cut down some trees, make a raft, tie it together. We could be real inventive.
I have survival. That would allow me to make a canoe. Right?
We could make barrels and just all float down the river in barrels.
I'm just picturing you guys making a gigantic barrel for the Glitter Boy armor, and him hopping in it and just like going straight to the bottom and just stuck in place.
Well, it's a self-contained environment, so if I sink, I could just walk along. But you said it was shallow, so it would just come up with waves. Anyways, mountain road.
Okay, so you guys are traveling along. I need to know how much of a rush you guys are in here. Are you like forced marching and trying to cover as much ground as possible, or just doing, a standard day and then camp, standard day and then camp? What are you doing?
At least I think that we should maybe be hopping too, because we don't want them to eat this guy or capture this guy's soul or whatever they're trying to do. So I would say as fast as we can all go collectively.
I'd say as fast as we can go without exhausting ourselves.
Fair.
Because we're not going to be any good to anybody if we're exhausted when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Liv's bike's a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
Would she be able to scout ahead, Elmer?
Yeah, if you guys are comfortable with that.
I mean,
can I use prowl while I'm on my bike?
I'm sorry, what?
Could I use prowl while I'm on my bike?
No, you cannot.
Worth a shot.
So, are you going ahead? And if so, how far ahead are you going? Like,
okay,
your bike.
How far does our radios go? How far is our
That's good.
We're going to say, for ease of life, you essentially have an infinite range, because I don't want to deal with this nonsense.
Okay. Well, how fast is the slowest person with us? So I would know how far ahead
that would
I'd
be me.
Well, you're on the back of Taggart's bike, so.
Oh yeah, I'm on the back of his bike now, so I guess I'm.
You are going roughly 220.
Awesome. Ozzy, how fast do you go?
Not fast enough, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Mine goes 300.
I believe Ozzy tops out at 200.
Okay, cool. So then maybe I would go like 225. So like I'm ahead of everybody, but they can still get to me in a reasonable amount of time.
Do you have a flare or anything? I guess you could shoot your guns.
I got a grenade. It's a grenade launcher on my pistol. Just saying.
That's rather loud.
Actually, I have.
Well, if I need help, you'll know.
Actually, before she goes, I have 6 signal flares. I can give her one of those.
Oh, cool. I'll take it.
What I need to know is, how many miles are you willing to go ahead the rest of the party?
How good is visibility on this? Is this like really hilly? So if I'm like a mile ahead, I can't see them anymore?
They probably have a good 10 miles visible range. Like, it's hilly, but not very hilly. Like, it's largely flat, except for the area that's scooped out for the river. It's that
Okay.
you're not going down there.
All right. Yeah. I don't want to go more than, say, 20 miles ahead of them. And once I kind of hit that, I'm going to like kind of wait for them a little bit so that I can get them in view and then go ahead again.
We're also in radio contact the whole time too, so.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay,
so I kind of
so-
go not too far ahead, but enough that I'd spot something before them.
So one day passes and you guys have not found them or Winter Song. The Platte River has gotten a little bigger, a little faster than what it was like when you guys originally started. You guys can see it's way down because it's been so hot this summer, and the heat's just continuing. All of the like grass that covers the plains and wild wheats and things are looking pretty dry and pretty scrawny. At this point, you guys have set up your camp, and I just like to do this thing to let people get to know you guys as characters. So I'm going to give you guys a prompt for all of your characters to answer, for you guys to have a little bit of like campfire chatter. And today's topic is, what is the craziest device that you've seen in your travels? And this is RIFTS. It can be anything. So go ahead and make up stuff if you want. Remember, it's Coalition. It's skeleton themed, but beyond that, you guys are pretty open. And does somebody want to volunteer to be first, or are we going to roll initiative? Okay, everybody roll initiative.
Silence. I got a 12.
I got a 6.
I actually got a 20.
David, what'd you get?
I got a 14.
Okay, so it goes Ozzy, David, Liv, then Taggart. So Ozzy, what's the craziest device you've seen?
When I first left Colorado and I was coming over to, I think, the old state of Missouri, I actually found a building, one of the pre-RIFTS building, that was in surprisingly good condition. It was about 4 stories. It was maybe one of the biggest buildings I've ever seen, but it was filled with skulls. When we opened the door to the building, skulls just started flying out, just an unimaginable amount. I just imagined like a bag full of BBs, that many skulls. And the skulls kept coming out and rolling out and creating a big pile for about 3 minutes straight until they stopped. And no other creatures around that we could ask what this building was. It was just a skull building, and that's kind of what we nicknamed it. We kind of camped there to see if anyone would show up, and no one did. And yeah, so we found a building full of skulls, human skulls to be exact.
Okay, that's pretty ominous. David, what is the weirdest built thing or technological thing that you found in your travels?
When I first came through the rift that I was sucked through in the volcano, I came out at this place and it was a large underground like government facility, and they just had vault upon vault upon vault of brains in jars.
Maybe they're the brains that went to Ozzy's skulls.
So they were just like literally like brains in jars everywhere. And I was just sort of taken aback because I'd never seen, literally there were like hundreds of brains in jars in this underground facility.
Okay, Liv, craziest tech or I guess destination that you've seen.
Okay. Once I'd left Tolkien and was on my own for a little bit, I was never really sure if this was a hallucination or not because I was very drunk at the time. So I was just wandering out in the woods, and I come into this clearing, and there's this guy all by himself, but with a whole banquet table full of random stuff, like a cooked elephant trunk. Like, it was really weird. And he's just laughing, just sitting there laughing his ass off. And it was a little weird. But I decided, what the hell? Might as well go have a drink with this guy. So I walk into the clearing and I offer him a drink. And so we're having a great time talking or whatever. And he asked me if I want to see something cool. I say yes. He pulls out this staff.
Oh, good.
You know where I'm going with this. He pulls out this staff. And suddenly, there's like 5 other guys in this clearing. But they're tied up on the other end of the clearing. And he just takes this staff and he just starts zapping these guys. One guy becomes a chicken. One guy becomes cheese. One guy's just like a pile of goo. One guy's, all of his injuries instantly healed. Really weird. Last guy is suddenly a completely different guy now. Like it's like swapped into a different guy. And this guy's like has red skin and he's like yelling at me. And then I decide that's enough of that. And I turn around and I'm suddenly not in a clearing. I'm just in the woods. No idea what happened, but I really like that staff.
Seems to me you had an encounter with the fair folk.
Very true. At least they didn't eat me.
You know how the poem goes, you mustn't look at goblin men, you mustn't buy their fruits. Who knows upon what soil they fed those hungry, thirsty roots.
Right, and I didn't eat any of the food, so I should mostly be okay, because I only drank my own drinks, and I gave him some of mine. So maybe that's why he didn't kill me, to make me a chicken.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. But now I'm kind of scared of cheese, because I'm always worried it's going to be a person.
I have to ask, was the goo tzatziki sauce?
I don't know, but it had a blue glow, and so it was very gooey goo too.
So probably not tzatziki sauce.
You never know; it could have been their version.
It makes me think of Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens, the weird turquoise like goo that he was.
Mm-hmm.
Taggart, what is a destination or piece of technology you ran into?
So this was a while back, but I ran into this guy on like the side of a road somewhere. He had some weird vehicle that I'd never really seen before. Kind of escapes my understanding, but it wasn't working apparently. He was just kind of flagging people down to see if anyone would stop, and stupidly I did, but it turned out okay. He said that the generator for the vehicle had like broken down and it just needed, to get fixed. He needed some energy to do it. And I offered, to juice it up with some of the battery from my bike at the time that I no longer have that one. But it was this weird generator. It was maybe no larger than the engine on my bike, but it was strange because it didn't seem to use like electrical components. I don't really understand how it worked, but it had this large funnel on one side and a tube made of metal. It had just this large metal ball, and he was like, "This is what makes it work." And he put it through the funnel, and he juiced up a part that I didn't quite get using the battery that I'd provided with him. And he said, as long as he can get it running, it'll run forever unless something stops it outside of itself. He's called it a perpetual motion machine, and it would. The ball would just had this trajectory around the funnel, and then it would go down, and then something in the mechanics would just make it shoot through the tube and back up into the funnel again. And he said as long as it kept doing that, it would provide his vehicle with power. And sure enough, it did, but dang, it drained my battery.
Did this traveler try to sell you anything?
No, just took my battery. Probably shouldn't have trusted him, but he seemed like a good enough guy.
So the next day rolls around. Are you guys continuing in the same fashion as you guys have been going so far?
I would say yes, unless there's anything anybody wants to do. Are we still seeing signs of the giants passing?
Yeah, occasionally you'll just find like what looks like an abandoned like campsite.
Okay.
How abandoned was the last one?
Okay, what we'll do is we'll have you guys find one now, since we didn't describe previous ones. How's that?
Okay. Sorry.
if you want to tell anything from the campsite, you're going to have to use skills. So tell me what kind of skill you want to use to try to find out what kind of information.
I'm gonna use survival.
Can I use intelligence?
I got a 6 on my survival.
Nice.
Okay, so you can tell this campground is apparently about 6 days old. It's been a little bit of time. They didn't put forth any effort to hide anything. I mean, their we'll call it leavings are just in a pit on the side of the camp that they didn't bother covering over. You see there are just little stray bones and bits of food. Nothing that looks human. And you can see, from looking around the camp that you guess that there were probably 8 creatures in the band. So 8 stone giants.
All right.
And that's all you're going to get from a survival check. But if anybody wants to try anything else, I'd be more than happy to.
Can I do intelligence
let you know.
again?
Yes.
Okay. I did not pass.
Okay. So, yeah, you haven't learned anything new.
No tools or anything on the ground?
No.
So I would, just putting 2 and 2 together here, it looks like these creatures are just eating stuff with their hands and just ripping it apart.
Mhm.
So,
David, that
Does it seem
jives
like-
with what you know about stone giants.
Yeah, that sounds like stone giants.
Does it seem like we're gaining on them, Ozzy?
I don't know. Elms, does it look like we're gaining on them?
Yeah, I would say that you guys are passing, 2, maybe 3 of their camps a day. So you guys are obviously moving much more quickly than they do.
Okay, so we're at least 2 days behind them, minimum. Unless they stopped. Okay. So I think just do the same thing we did yesterday. Group goes 200, I'll go 225 and kind of go a little ahead, wait. Is that okay with everyone?
I have one
Sounds
more
good to
question
me.
about the campground. We've passed several of these. Did there seem to be anything unique about the location that they chose to bunker down for the night, or was it just kind of like where they were, or did they choose more opportunistic or better campgrounds? Kind of guessing at level of intelligence here.
Do you have wilderness survival or detect ambush or anything like that?
I have wilderness survival or lore demons and monsters or fairy and creatures of magic.
I would say that that I'll let you roll wilderness survival to check on that one.
Cool.
Actually, you know what? Don't roll. Based on Ozzy's really good wilderness survival check, yeah, they aren't putting any thought into where they camp. They aren't picking places with water sources. They're not picking places that are naturally defensible. It's almost as though they just walk until one of them falls down.
Oh.
I have a question. Do they actually have a fire pit?
No.
Okay.
You also know these creatures are immune to natural disease and poison and natural fire, but magical and psionic fire can damage them.
If they're that dumb, why are they tracking this guy?
How are they tracking? I guess they're mad.
Right?
Have we seen any indicators have we seen signs of the shaman?
No.
Oh.
So we were just following these guys and they're not even on the same track.
They could just be going anywhere.
Well,
we were going to go what?
You guys are following the river, and you know that his safe haven is on the river.
All right, it's like an island on the river, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just keep an eye out for any islands we pass to make sure that's not it.
You haven't seen any with a building on it yet, and then you were told there's a building.
Okay.
Is there any civilization whatsoever out here? Or is this just straight wilderness?
If you'd like to roll land navigation, I can tell you where the nearest
I
where the
can.
nearest city is.
I think we all have that.
It's
Yes, I have
free.
land navigation as well. So we can all roll.
Oh, I failed.
Yeah.
Not a
It's my
good
favorite
night for
skill.
Liv.
No, she can't even shoot these guys when she gets there.
I got a 32%, which is I made successfully the land navigation check.
MVP.
Yep.
Okay.
Please say ski resort.
I want another cool farm.
You know that David, you know that apparently you've studied maps because you weren't from here originally, but you know that about a week's travel on motorcycle west of here is the city of Riverton, which is on the very edge of what was apparently a holy site in pre-RIFTS Earth called Yellowstone. Which is a huge, well-preserved park.
Has
forested
Ozzy,
area.
Has Ozzy heard of that?
Yeah, he's heard of it.
Okay.
Yellowstone today is a giant coniferous forest that's home to many, many creatures. It's kind of a dangerous place, but
lots of bears.
How big's
Yes.
the town?
Riverton is the biggest town, and it is basically it's like a mercenary base. There's a camp of mercenaries that sometimes work, for the League of the Free Cities. That basically it's their off camp. It's like the city they go to when they're not engaged in war, and that's where their families and places are. So it's a very heavily defended place. Like, if anybody needs to restock their missiles, Riverton's the place to go.
Do I have any, if we radioed them and said, hey, stone giants are probably at, 1 day or less from your location because we're 6 days behind them and you're 7 days away from us, would they be receptive to that warning?
I'm trying to think if there's a skill that you would roll to see. Do you have Streetwise or anything like that?
I got radio basic, intelligence, research, small amount of history.
Something that would indicate knowledge about other groups of people is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think all I got is intelligence and research and a small amount of history and law.
Let me roll. Why don't you give me a history roll?
Okay, my history is 5, so I don't think it's going to go well for us, but I'm going to try. It was a sub skill with one of my others.
Okay. If anybody has... Yeah. I mean, personally, you would prefer a heads up, but you've never had any interactions with these people.
Yeah. I kind of feel like...
They're called Rico's Roughnecks, by the way.
Like from Starship Troopers?
Yep, I totally did not name this group, so I am just using a movie reference.
I
kind of feel... Go ahead.
I think Ozzy's heard of them, right? But I don't think he's been there because it's the opposite direction that he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But being so close to Yellowstone, I don't know how much he would know about them. So.
Are they good or evil? Best guess.
Or opportunist.
Well, they're traders. They sell stuff, right? They're mercenaries, so they're probably just interested in money. Do we have anything to offer them?
Well, I mainly want to just do a radio basic check and be like, hey, I know you have your families here. There's this big group of guys that are less than a day from your location, just so you know. Maybe they'll kill them for us.
That sounds vaguely threatening.
I would say it's less polite, which would be more polite for them.
Go ahead and roll radio basic to see if you get a reaction.
I actually have a better chance at that skill. passed.
Okay,
47 out of 55.
You get a hold of somebody named Leighton, and Leighton, like what do you say when you get a hold of their channel? I assume you're going to do something like paging Riverton, paging Riverton. This is Riverton. What's the news?
Hey, this is Liv. I'm kind of just a roving juicer. I'm doing my own shit, but I noticed these tracks that are these big ass stone giants, and they're about 6 days old, and they're headed due west. Just so you guys know, because they seem to be headed right for your town.
We're armed. We'll be good against stone giants. We've seen them a time or two in the past. Liv, you got any magic users or psychics with you?
I'm kind of a soloist. There's other people around, but I don't necessarily claim them. What's up?
Well, I don't know if you've had a run-in with a stone giant, but I've seen one or two in my day, and they have a green spirit attack that actually sucks the life force out of magic users and psychics. So, you're probably fine. I haven't met a psychic juicer. You psychic juicer? That'd be kind of messed up.
Yeah, but there's some messed up shit out here, so it's always good to check. And then, while I'm thinking about it, I'm doing other stuff, but have you seen, like, a shaman? Like, he was also headed westbound. I got, like, some packages for him. You seen that guy? It's like River Song or something like that?
Oh, Liv, you're a bit far west for the Cheyenne Sioux. I suggest you either turn and head north or, probably heading northeast towards actual Cheyenne would be your way. I'd stay away from Devil's Tower, though, if I were you.
What's that?
Well, the aliens visit Earth.
Well, here, let me just do a quick Google search, and I'll share an image of Devil's Tower. It's a naturally occurring.
Is it in Yellowstone?
No, it's not actually in Yellowstone.
Isn't it in the Badlands?
Yes. Here we go. Come on. I am so good at Googling random stuff, except for when I'm trying to do it. Here we go. Share screen.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at on your screen right here is the Devil's Tower.
It looks like this image is copyright Chris Coleman. So Chris Coleman, thanks for the good shot. I would
It's right down there.
So it's easier to show that than describe it, but
Fair.
that is Devil's Tower. And Leighton says some nasty magic user with an obsession with dead things has taken up residence there and been causing trouble for people. So if you're heading towards the Cheyenne Sioux, I'd give a wide berth to Devil's Tower at the moment.
Okay.
In the real world, they believe that it's the place where aliens come to Earth from another dimension.
Well, that's cool. And is that north, south, east, or west of us?
It is northeast of you.
Northeast, okay.
At least according to ancient aliens, that's what they said.
It's also the site of one of the coolest Deadlands scenarios, if anybody's interested in reading some 90s RPGs.
Is that with the futuristic Chinese people the futuristic Chinese people that come back?
That break open the Black Diamond, creating hell on Earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Leighton says, yeah, I'd stay away from there. He's a magic guy with a weird obsession with dead things who's been causing some trouble.
All right. Well, thanks for the heads up. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew about those stone giant things headed for town. But if you guys are fine, you're fine.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up, Liv. A couple mini missiles straight to the gut takes care of those guys, and I got more than enough of them.
Oh, it sounds like a fun time for me. All right. Well, if you're ever around Skeleton, I'll probably be at the bar if you want a drink.
If you ever make your way to Riverton, I'd be happy to share some of my peyote with you.
All right. Have a nice night. And I log off. And then, so I turn to them. I'm like, okay, raise your hand if you're magic or psychic. Okay, you two.
I look really
Stone
sad.
giants have green magic shit. It will suck your souls out. You see green stone giant, you run behind me. Okay?
Got
okay.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Missile right to the gut.
That's a lot of things. Weaknesses. Sorry.
That's a drink name.
yeah. And so I tell everybody else, and I assume they all heard everything I heard. And I was like, I'm sorry, I pretended I didn't know you. I thought it would be for the best, just to be safe.
When I heard missile in the gut, I pointed. I look at Dave and give a thumbs up, and point back at my mech, like, yeah.
It seems a bit distant, but I have to wonder if there's any connection between that weird ghosty guy that we fought.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the purple ghosty guy?
I can't remember his name. It didn't seem super important, but, one blowhard to another, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, the one that, like, talked into our heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
That guy was weird.
Colas? Is that his name?
Vargul Gast.
Oh God, I'm looking at D&D.
Vargul Gast. Okay. Yeah, maybe he's at
Colas
Devil's Tower.
Was Zach's replacement character in the old campaign, Rodney.
Yeah. I needed a RIFTS thing quick, so I grabbed my old D&D notes and wrote on the back of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. No, I got the notes from the last session. I just saw a fancy name.
So you guys continue on a little. You guys continue on.
Honestly,
I would say yes.
If we walk a little bit slower, it sounds like these things are just gonna walk into you.
Like we could maybe go to the other. We could go to the other side of the river and just keep looking for this island. Maybe not run straight into them. How shallow is shallow?
About 2 to 3 feet deep. The hover cycles could literally just hover over the river and be fine.
Well, I vote we do that then.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't been pointing this detail out, but there is a ley line that runs along the Platte River, like parallel to it. That has been getting slightly stronger.
Parallel on which side of the river?
Over the river.
Over the river, okay.
So if a stone giant can suck the life out of a dude who has magic, I wonder what they do to a ley line.
Nothing good. I'm definitely voting for getting to the opposite side of the river as these guys going forward.
Yeah, if nothing else, we can definitely. I think when I hear stone creatures, I think slow, so we'd be able to run from these things at least. We're a pretty fast group, so.
Yeah, we're like what, going 3 times as fast. We pass 2 to 3 of their campsites a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I carry everybody across the river, like the bikes and?
You really don't need to.
No.
Everyone has hover bikes, except Taggart has a hover bike, and Liv's bike jumps. Like she can just jump over the river.
Yeah, one of my skills is jump bike combat.
I would like to see that.
I can jump and smush people. It's great.
I'm actually going to splash around the river a little bit and get Big Blue clean after the last section.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys cross the river, and you work on your march for the day, and you find a site to set up your camp. And you guys are setting up camp, and about an hour after dark, you hear drums and loud music. And we're going to stop for our first bathroom break.
What kind of music?
It's drum music.
Just tribal beats kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're going to get up and leave, please make sure to mute your microphone and camera. And we'll be back.
Put on the music for y'all. Yeah, enjoy. Wasn't this some good music? All right. Sure that's on? Yep, I'm good. Okay.
Oh, what's up, Rodney?
Nothing much, Jan. Listen to my cat snore behind me. She is out. I dressed up Elvis in winter gear, not to freak everybody out back there, because he is in rough shape. That's anybody older remembers a place called Sharper Image.
God.
That used to be in malls back in early 2000s. Well, they had.
They're the ones that.
Yeah.
Are they the ones that carried the weird items that nobody would actually want?
Yes, and that's one of them. It's an animatronic Elvis that actually comes on that my nephews got from my mom way back when. And after about 13 years of having it, she said, "Do you want this?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want a creepy Elvis." So now I've got a creepy Elvis head back there. And the best thing about him is he's so old now. When you turn him on and he talks and stuff and reacts, his gears grind. So it's horrifying. Like I could get children nightmares with that thing. So yeah. So he's joined the rotating cast behind me of the Wizard wrestling mask and fun stuff. I'm just gonna keep adding stuff. Eventually, it's all gonna be filled with junk. So kind of like Ozzy's thing.
Do we need to have an intervention? Is this a hoarder thing that we're listening to?
You know my partner. You know Sarah.
I have a question. Do we need to stop her from bringing home more crutches?
Yeah, kinda. Please, no one show
Rodney,
this.
I want you to know that every time Sarah comes to visit, Jan reminds me that we're not allowed to let her go home with additional spare crutches.
It's more, I think, instead of crutches, our weird things that we have too many of are fans. We've got way too many fans for some reason. I think we have 6-box fans in various disrepair in this place. So that's our weird thing.
I know for a while we had a problem with excess kitchen utensils. Like when before we moved here, I threw away 6 vegetable peelers. I don't know why we had so many. That's after I kept one for us and gave one to Kevin. I threw away 6 vegetable peelers.
Is that one of those things where you're at the store and they're like, "Do we have a vegetable peeler?" And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes we're really bad about that. We're not sure whether or not we have something, so we just buy it, and you end up with 6 half gallons of milk in the refrigerator.
Yes.
I would also say the thing with utensils, I would blame that on your mom because she puts them in the stockings every year. Because she gave us
garlic presses from my mother from Christmas.
Yeah, she gave us a vegetable peeler this year and 3 rubber scrapers amongst the other stuff in the stockings. So.
See, if we were actually closer, I think we could actually redistribute all our kitchen stuff and actually have a balanced act. Like you have too many garlic presses, I have too many strainers. We could figure it out.
I literally own 1 kitchen knife, and I have 1 pot, and I have 1 pan because I'm a sad person.
Oh my God! Is it like Fry and Bender with the spoons and the foot powder?
I do own 3 wine openers though.
One of the things that
Priorities.
I'm going to talk about larceny here for a second.
Go for it.
When I was working at Pizza Hut, I would mistakenly steal silverware all the time because I'd be cleaning the dining room and find a random fork and just put it in my apron. And then when I get home and find it, I just toss it in the dishwasher because who wants a dirty fork just hanging around? So we had at one point just a ridiculous amount of silverware, but now we've made a rule that we are not allowed to have more than 4 forks, 4 knives, and 4 spoons at a time.
Oh, that's not enough.
Well, did you also, when they would bribe you to come in, you'd have them give you dishes from Pizza Hut?
Yeah, I got tired.
You had an entire set of cups and plates.
Did you have the old red cups?
No,
Yes,
that was before my time. But we did have a set of their glasses. Well, I got tired of them making me stay late on Fridays and Saturdays all the time. So I told the manager that I would not even consider staying late unless she gave me a piece of dishware. Like we had a full set of like the Pizza Hut pans, like to make personal pan pizzas.
I love that.
Do you still have it?
We had the metal like tongs.
We got rid of most of it when we were in Bloomington.
Did we give it to Kevin?
I was thinking you could put it on like Etsy and be like vintage Pizza Hut, $75.
Okay, getting back to the point.
Back to the game.
So you guys are all at the campfire, and just all of a sudden you hear this tribal drum music start rolling up the hills. Like it's very loud, so apparently you're hearing it from a good distance away.
Kind of bobbing my head to it, despite myself.
Does it sound like drums?
Yeah, like drums and like you think you can hear some pipes like primitive like woodwind pipes.
Okay. I kind of turn to the magic-y people and I'm like, does this sound like music or like magic ritual music crap?
You guys could roll lore magic.
I have that.
Again, I bow my head in shame that I don't have any magic.
I don't have any lore, period.
I have lore fairies. Is it fairy creature magic or lore magic? Is there a difference?
Let me look at the skill list. I think there is lore magic.
Okay, because I have lore demons and monsters and lore fairy creature magic.
So that's a success on lore magic, 25 out of 40.
Okay, this is not any kind of magic you're familiar with, and to be honest, like even the few times you do know what magical rituals sound like, this doesn't have any of the like standard features of that. So you doubt that this is some kind of magical ritual. You think this is just somebody playing music.
Yeah, I don't think this is related to sort of like a ritual. It's pretty just aesthetically pleasing.
Okay.
If you're into that, I suppose. Not everyone is, but I like it. It's pretty cool. I could
I could dance to this. Yeah.
Feel it in my chest.
Doing the robot inside Big Blue.
I'm on my little hover bike, like doing a wheelie. They just like turn in circles.
Immediately, just hear music and just party.
I'm just picturing the entire party just suddenly having like the dead mouse like helmets on, like just out of nowhere.
But it's a RIFTS version, so it's just like a trash can with like 2 pieces of cardboard.
With
and neon pink.
And missiles.
And missiles. Lots of missiles.
One for Nibs.
Everyone gets a flare, shoot off a flare.
Oh, Nibs actually has like a little turntable in front of him. And he has his little raccoon feet on it.
Spilt into the bike.
Oh, I want that on a sticker now.
I think Nibs should have access to hammer space. He should be able to just bring whatever makes us laugh.
Oh yeah, you just start hammer time.
If you ever want to use the Nibs hammer space in a useful way, there's a 1% chance he can pull out something useful.
Okay.
And
roll it every time.
Yeah, so you guys just hear this music. You're having your own little rave, I suppose.
I pop a glow stick.
Okay. Can I try radioing them to ask if we can join their party?
What, you're just going to pick up your radio and just start taking random channels and be like, hey, if you're a stone giant, can I come hang out? Like,
well, do we think it's the Stone Giants making the music? I didn't think they were smart enough for that.
No, it can't be. Those are monsters that are just eating buffalo hands.
We've already established the Stone Giants are dumb, and it takes intelligence to make music.
Especially if they play a woodwind. They can't play a woodwind
right.
with giant stone hands. Can you imagine
and
the size of a
like,
flute?
and we haven't started driving. They're 6 days in front of us. These footprints are 6 days old. If they're still here, that means like at least Winter Song is still here, or else these guys are gone and this is Winter Song.
I have a question. Does the music
confused. How did you get from me saying you passed 3 sites a day to them being 6 days ahead of you?
You said the camp when we looked at it was 6 days old. I wrote it down.
It's in the notes.
I can't argue because I just accepted what you said. I was just like, yeah, that sounds right.
Well, that's why I was worried about the town, because you said they're 7 days away, and you said the Stone Giants, the camp was 6 days old, so I thought it'd be 7 days ahead.
Yeah, you're doing some real interesting travel math there.
I have a question. Does the music sound Native American in nature? Is it something that something that the shaman himself would be doing?
Well, anything's possible. I mean, do you have play musical instrument or anything like that?
No, I have. Let's see. I have a new.
Has any of our characters been to the Cheyenne Nation and maybe hung out, heard their music?
I mean, apparently I've spent some time there just recently, so.
I was just wondering if it sounded tribal, because I'm sorry, you can listen to music and tell if it's like of a tribal nature, I suppose.
Hey,
would be the way to put it.
Before that, we got a new follower. Looks like Connor Wynn. Thank you for the follow.
Hi. Thank you very much. Taggart, since you've been there recently, I'll let you roll a straight up percentage. And let me know what you get.
That is a 36.
Yeah, this does not sound like the music you heard when you were in the Cheyenne Sioux.
That'd be a no.
How far do we think this is? Do we have a estimate? Can I roll something?
Also, how clearly are we hearing it?
Well, it's, there's nothing to dampen the sound because you're just in a big empty area.
Okay.
Get on my megaphone and turn it down. Glitter boys are trying to sleep. I'm not doing that. I'm just
okay.
Just a bit.
But how far does it sound from us? Best guess that we can tell.
Well, you can't see them from here, so it's past like regular visual range at like a couple miles.
Okay.
Somebody should prowl over there and check it out.
Yeah.
Or one of our.
I was thinking that.
Or one of our magic users. Do you guys have any turn unseen kind of deals?
I don't know.
The powers I have don't really lend to one not being seen.
All right. I'm willing to prowl if you give me one of your flares.
I can sneak over there and see what's going on if you'd like.
On fire the whole time.
I'm not on fire unless I want to be on fire. I'm not on fire now.
I say you and Liv sneak over there and take one of the flares. You can run off.
What's your prowl?
My prowl is 30%.
Okay.
Better than mine.
Mine's 50. What's your guys's? Or do you have it?
27.
Five, I guess it would be.
Okay.
38%, so that's not below what I needed, so I did not make it.
Okay, I made it.
So I think I'm being quiet, but I'm not.
Okay, so we're pretty far away, so we're getting closer. Can I tell David, hey, why don't you stay here and guard this area, and I'll go a little farther ahead and look?
What'd you get, David? How much did you fail by?
By 3.
No, you're succeeding because the loud noise is providing additional cover.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna very quietly with my bike get a little closer, and then since my bike doesn't count for prowl, I guess I have to leave it behind, so I'm sad. So we have to go in on foot.
So you guys go about a half mile from the bike, and you guys are looking down the river, and you guys actually see that there is an island in the middle of the river. And on top of it, you see there is a wigwam that has been built. So that's one of the domed Native American structures. And around it, you see that there is a bluish purplish energy field. And then around that, you see on either side of the river are 4 of the large stone giant creatures, and several of them are playing music.
Are any of them green?
You do see that there's none of them that are green, but there's one that has some kind of what look like green willow wisps floating around his hands.
Okay, I point him out to Dave and I say, "That's the one you don't fight."
And you guys can see them from this distance. They are, the biggest one is about 18 foot tall. Most of them are closer to 15 feet tall, and they are almost they are gray, and it looks as though they're made out of stone, and they're all bald. They have no body hair at all. You can see that they have adorned themselves with jewelry that's made out of a combination of like bones and metal. And you see that the one with the green wisps around his hand is actually wearing a necklace that has like large cast iron cages on it that you can see that there are small creatures imprisoned in. And you can see that, several of them have spears and things. And you see that there are 2 of them that are on the far side of the river from you that have between them what looks like a tipoca that they have killed, and they're actually just like gnawing on legs that they've ripped off it. And
yeah, I'm gonna radio everyone and tell them.
No one in the camp has paid any attention to the 2 of you yet. They either don't know you're there or don't care that you're there. You don't know which. The drums also, you can see the drums now are actually made of bone with like skin stretched over them.
Yeah, I'm gonna back away slowly, back to where my motorcycle is, and radio everyone else to come meet us.
On my way.
Yep, be there in a moment.
Okay, and then share with them everything we just saw. We're like, there's a lot of them. They're definitely around Wintersong. He has some kind of magical shield over his little house. There's a green guy, and they're eating a tapoca.
Ozzy looks serious for a minute and just says, "I'll never again doubt these stone creatures' ability to play wood instruments. I'm sorry." Can you? So these are 15-foot tall stone creatures playing flutes, right? That made out of bone. You said?
Yes.
That's crazy. That's something.
Imagine a set of panpipes made out of human femurs.
Okay. Damn.
Ouch.
Well, we got some thinking to do on this one. Because I think River Song is out there. It seems like he's got his barrier up, and I don't know about you, but I don't think he probably could last this forever. Maybe he might be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Are we in that ley line you were talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
You see that he is his safe haven is actually set up on the ley line. So those of you who are practitioners of magic know that he's probably drawing on the ley line energy to maintain the barrier. So he could probably do this for a long time. Now, there's a good chance he could starve or possibly die of thirst.
But his magical energy isn't going anywhere for a while.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is a pretty large ley line.
Okay.
I think we know what we need to do. We don't want to do it.
Yeah, like I don't want to fight it, but I feel obligated.
Just pointing out, you guys could try talking to him. Or, but if you do that, then you're going to lose your element of surprise, which you guys have now.
Mm-hmm.
Could I... How far away from are we now? Because we
You guys, Liv went back to her bike before radioing you, so that is a half mile from their camp.
All right. Could we be in stealth? They can't see us. Could we try shooting a flare so he knows someone's out there, but they don't know where the flare came from? Could we do that? Would that be a possibility?
Depends on if they're...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it depends if we want to try negotiating with the stone giants. Like, we've just kind of assumed we're on the guy in the house's side, but, like, we don't really know who the stone giants are. If they're smart enough to make instruments, we might be able to talk to them and see why they're doing this.
I don't know. David, are these things intelligent?
From your check earlier, you know that, they're about as smart as a human.
It's possible it's possible they could be as smart as a human being.
But they are known for being like vindictive jerks, basically.
Okay.
I mean, our job was to find River Song, right? Was our job also to bring him back?
I think we were supposed to find out about the market, which we already know is canceled. And we know where River Song is, so, like... I'm a bad person.
Just want to point out the name's Winter Song, not River Song.
Sorry, I was using his nickname.
Too much Doctor Who.
But yeah, they just asked you, they told you they didn't know where he was and they wanted to know what was going on with the market. So, I mean, you could validly just go and be like, hey, that's where he is.
Does anybody want to run up there and go, hey, are you okay? And run?
Is it worth it to see if either of them, the giants or him, have a radio on them?
Made out of bone, like a bone radio.
Hey, you never know. They could have stolen a radio.
Ham radios are a thing. Why not bone radios?
All right.
Well, like, I mean, Winter Song in this case.
Can we title Session 4 Bone Radio, please?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead, roll Radio Basic. I'll see if you can try to get somebody on them.
All right. Really don't want to fight these guys. No, definite fail. I got a 95.
That's not good.
I didn't even turn on the radio.
I'll give it a shot. I've got Radio Basic. I got another 6.
Nice.
So
okay, you get a hold of Winter Song, and he a very tired voice answers the radio. Well, what do you say?
Is it River Song or Winter Song? Is what
Winter
I say.
Song. Oh.
Sorry.
He says in a very raspy voice, "Who is this?"
This is a friend of yours, maybe. We were sent to figure out where the hell you were and report back where you were. But we came here and we see this giant dome that you have magically summoned, I think. And yeah, we were wondering if you need any help.
Oh, help me, please. It's horrible. They've made me so sick, and they're not leaving. I don't know. Look, I can't. I need help.
Is everybody hearing this? We all gathered around the radio.
Yeah, we're going to say, just because I don't want to make everyone make checks all the time, and since context has been established, you all can talk.
All right. What did you do to piss him off?
I didn't piss them off. I pissed their master off.
Who is?
A necromancer named Vargol Gast sent them after me.
Oh, that asshole.
He's in an awful lot of places lately.
He asked me to do something terrible for him. When I refused, he sicked his dogs on me.
All right. How long can you keep that shield up? How long do you think you can hold out?
Oh, the shield's not a problem. I can keep the shield up, but I'm getting sicker every day from whatever it is they did to me. There's something eating me from the inside out.
Contagious?
I don't know. It's magic. Some kind of they stick some kind of green spirit on me, and after it attacked me, my body began wasting away.
All right.
I was just going to tell him what we got told by the town about the green glowing stone giants eating souls and keeping them.
The things came out of their mouths, and the green things did, and they mobbed me. And since then, even though I'm on a ley line, I haven't been able to get any energy back. The only reason the shield is working is I tied it directly to the ley line. Like, my energy is not returning, and I can feel it ebbing away.
How many of the guys had green things coming out of their mouths?
At least 3 of them.
So more than the one we saw. Okay.
And I can't rest. They play this music all night, every night.
Well, I really feel this guy right now. Identify with that.
I have grenades.
We'll see what we can do. We'll hang in there. We're not promising anything because these things are pretty tough, though. I'm looking. Yeah, we'll help you out. Yeah, won't we, guys? Are we helping him? Are we helping him out?
Why not?
Let me ask. If we do help you out, is there any kind of reward in this? We'll talk about it later. What you?
At least there's something I must tell you before you try to fight the giants. At least one of you, don't lose your lives to the giants, because there's a message that I need relayed that's more important than whether or not I make it out of here. A creature's been called to the ruins of Tolkien, and it's feeding on the death and destruction there, and soon it will awaken. It was once human, but now it's not. It lived in a dark place of night for a long time and was twisted into something else. And some people there are feeding it energy to help it awaken. I think that they may believe that it's a venue for revenge against the coalition, but it's complete destruction. It's revenge that will kill both the coalition and the survivors of Tolkien. It is the reason why the Zidisik are fleeing to the west and why they've started invading the Cheyenne Sioux. And the Zidisik are going to keep coming. They're coming in even larger numbers. The Cheyenne Sioux must be made aware. And the League of Free Cities must be made aware too. They are also in danger. They need to combine forces to stop the Zidisik and destroy whatever the thing is in Tolkien.
So you're not aware of what it is, actually?
It was human. I don't know what you would call it now. But it spent eons living in a dark, twisted version of our reality. And something to do with the fall of Tolkien called it here. And it slumbers now, but soon will awaken. It's feeding on huge amounts of magical energy.
Does that trip any bells in my limited knowledge of dimensional stuff? Would I be aware of anything related to that?
I'll let you roll with a minus 20%.
Ouch. Okay.
I think you have, is it called Lore Dimensions, the special thing you get for being a rifter? That's what you'll be rolling.
Okay. Nope, that's a 46, so I didn't even make my own limit.
I have a question. Did someone within Tolkien sacrifice the lives there? Did they willingly do this?
I don't know. I just know what's there now. And I know that there are survivors there that are feeding it. Most likely misled or perhaps gone mad with their need for vengeance.
Okay. I can't promise you that we're going to save you, but I will promise you that I will find out about this thing in Tolkien, and if it was responsible for the destruction of Tolkien, I will kill it.
That's more important than saving me. And I'm telling you now, it may or may not have been responsible for the destruction of Tolkien, but if it's allowed to waken, it will be responsible for the destruction of much more than you can imagine.
Okay. All right, so off radio, kind of look at everyone. It's like, okay, so who wants to try fighting these guys and then going to give the message, and who wants to just cut and run?
Maybe there's a third option.
Okay.
What if a couple of us lay into these stone guys, and then he will drop the shield, and a third one runs up there and grabs him on a vehicle, and we get the hell out of here because we know we can outrun these things.
I worry that if we don't take care of them, whatever's eating at his soul will succeed.
That's true. We might have to kill the 3 green guys to just free him. Otherwise, he's going to die regardless. Like, if we take him off the ley line, he might just instantly die.
Yeah.
I don't know.
David, since you knew about them, I'll let you roll another lore demons and monsters with a -15 to see if you know any more about this wasting disease.
Can we get a hold of can we just start radioing back his message?
Did you say -15?
Yeah.
I did not get. I missed it by 5.
Okay.
So I didn't get anything.
Yeah, you guys could radio it back to Dewberry Farm or to Skeletor. Or to Riverton.
Is the farm where we sent the other Cheyenne Nation people that we saved?
No, they actually went back to the Cheyenne Nation. I guess you guys could radio the other part of the group that's not here.
Kitnian?
Jack Diamond, Kitnian, and Maverick.
Okay.
They could get information to the Cheyenne Sioux since they're headed there anyway.
Let's do that. I vote for that. If nothing else, then no matter what we decide, then he wanted this news out. Let's get the news out.
All right.
I'm sending it back. I'm getting on the special. I don't think we have a group name yet, so I'm getting on our special frequency.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is.
Phone radio.
Phone radio, yeah. Kitnian is just like, oh man, thank you so much for telling me this, Ozzy. When I see you next time, I'm totally going to give you my sword. I'm like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to cut out that little piece of his brain that generates his sword and give it to you.
Ozzy's going to fall for it.
No,
I'll just take his gold.
Kitnian volunteers all of you to be the lone protectors of Cheyenne Sioux without any payment in exchange.
I will just change my name and say that's not me.
I'm just like, can we talk to Jack? Is Diamond there?
He's busy with the sword lady or the staff lady. All right, so I guess we're fighting these guys.
I don't want to.
How far away are they from us?
A half mile.
Okay.
I'm not sure we can take these things, to be honest.
Well, we could stay at higher ground and try fighting them a little bit. And if it's not going well, we can just drive away.
Do you have any more of those little mini nukes?
I do.
Maybe an opening volley?
Right? Like, I feel like we could just stay up on the higher ground and, like, shoot at the main green guy and just see if, like, we dent him at all. And if nothing we do works, don't try magic on him, firstly. But if nothing we do can hit him.
The boom gun fires 2 miles.
Boom gun.
Yeah.
I think my max range is like 1,600. No, my railgun will go 4,000. So 4,000 feet is my range. I don't know what that is in miles.
So, I say, Elms, we're backing up.
There are 5,280 feet in a mile.
Well, do you want me to go back farther and you guys stay up here? Or how do you want me to do this? I can go back 2 miles, but I'm worried about David and Taggart being magic.
Yeah. I'd rather them just stay out of range completely. And then if you and I are like 0.75 miles away, we have weapons that can reach.
Well, I would definitely want them to stay away. I was wondering if do you two have anything that can any long range magic thing you could do?
Long range magic, not so much. Like I have a couple things that potentially, but my longest range thing is just the little turret on the bike.
David?
Which I will admit I'm not super great at.
All of the stuff that I have is fairly close range.
Okay. Yeah, I don't feel like this is a good fight for us. I mean, it's the right thing to do, but
I don't really want to die trying.
yeah, I'm not in the mood to die. Should we just leave and not tell him? Sneak out?
I feel like we should tell him that we're going to like do an opening volley to distract them, but then we're leaving. So if he wants to try and drop a shield and run off, this is his chance, but that's all we've got.
He's sick. I don't think he can run.
I didn't say it's a good plan. I'm saying it's the plan. I'm very invested now with getting back to Tolkien and investigating that. And that's kind of all that's in my brain. Anyone against abandoning him?
I do have one idea, but it requires getting up to him. Like I could get him out of here, but we're on our own as far as getting away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we could do that. We could radio him and have him ready. Me and Liv could shoot everything we have at them, distract him for a second. You ride the bike up, he jumps on the back, and you do what you got to do to get out of there, and then we all run. It's risky, or we can just leave. I mean, Skeletor would be so disappointed in us. I don't want to look Mayor Skeletor in the face and be like, we just left him.
I say it's up to Taggart because you're the one that's going to be the most at risk. And if you want to risk it, I'm willing to go with you. But if you don't, I'm willing to run.
I'm real good at running away. I'll be the first to admit that, but this is unconscionable.
Could we start?
Oh, yeah.
Could David go start a huge fire and see if that distracts him? He should be safe. He's in the middle of a river.
They're impervious to fire, though, except for magical fire.
I don't want him to
Isn't
hurt
he
him.
magical fire?
I want him to distract.
That's true. Fair.
Keep in mind that it's been actually weeks since the last rainfall, and the entire area is covered in very dry grass.
But he gets to decide what's on fire. That's his special power, I thought.
That is true.
Except for his pants for some reason.
Conscious choice.
I think we should at least make the attempt.
Okay.
I'm on a radio him
Mm-hmm.
and tell him what we're thinking and ask him what is his opinion on this.
Mhm.
If he can even stop the spell and get down to you, Taggart. Because if he's too sick to move, then it's going to add, you know.
If the least we can do is take out the 3 greens, I think that would be enough.
But they're the biggest, baddest ones.
I know.
So Elmer, what's these things' hit points? How much mega damage do they take?
Can I roll research?
I'm gonna get on Google.
Someone, I thought one of you had some kind of. It's Kevin.
Damn it! I'm gonna radio him right now.
He has an ability where he can look at something and tell you how much health it has.
Oh, I can only do that with guns.
What if we describe it to him over the radio?
No, it's magic. He has to be able to see them.
Okay, can we ask Winter Song? I wrote his name down. If he's gonna die, if we get him out of here without killing the green guys, what is his best guess?
He's probably like, "What are you guys doing? Stop
Like-
calling me."
He says without a cure, he will die. But if you have anyone who's trained in magic with you, you guys could work together in the Sweat Lodge to cast the Great Healing Ritual of the Sweat Lodge, which would save him.
Where's
We
the
could probably
Sweat
do
Lodge
that.
at?
The Sweat Lodge is where he is, right?
Yes.
Question.
That means we have to stay.
Would that special Mel tree potion thingy we got give him enough time to like boost him for a while?
He has never heard of a Millennium Tree, so he cannot tell you.
Okay.
If one of the magic users would want to roll lore magic or lore... let me see. I have to look at the skill list.
Can we say the Millennial Tree drink is in an old like Coke bottle? Because I think of like every time I play like fantasy games, it's always in like a flask or something, you know, something real cool. It should, like,
A ball canning jar.
Yeah, it should just be in something, you know.
Actually, if you recall, I originally told you they were in wine bottles with corks.
Yeah. I had to mark them specially so I don't accidentally drink them.
Yeah, this would be, you could do lore magic or lore fairies and creatures of magic.
So do you want me to roll fairies, creatures of magic?
Yeah, you can roll that if you want.
Yay, I made it.
I didn't.
Okay, since David is also the one who knew about the giants, what I'll say is the PPE reviving powers of the potion wouldn't be enough to like cure the disease, but it would probably buy him some additional time.
Does the ritual... Oh, sorry.
Ask him, is there another Sweat Lodge we could take you to? Or is there only one Sweat Lodge?
This is the only one he knows of, but if you guys can find anywhere with a powerful ley line, he could set up one.
So why don't we like smash and grab him and just drive a couple 100 miles up the river and then pop him in the canoe that Ozzy makes, and there we go. Ley lines over the river.
I don't know where my boat actually is.
Because I have 2 of those tree potions, we could just keep feeding him until we get far enough away from the thingies to try and do the ritual.
I mean, wasn't there a ley line near the farm, or am I misremembering?
There was a ley line about a mile from the farm, but I mean, where you guys are now is a stronger ley line. You guys could theoretically, Leighton is going to be near near wherever this ley line branches off of the West Kansas line. So you guys could probably find a pretty powerful nexus if you went to Layton and then went a little northwest of there.
Right. How many of those tree potions do we have between us? Does everyone have 2?
Oh, wait. Layton was the guy's name, not the place name. Griverton. Sorry.
I like it being Layton, though. He's got the whole town. Okay. So I got 2 of the potions.
I don't. Did we each get 2, Elmer?
No, I believe you got 2 total.
2 total?
And we gave him the live?
I don't know. I have 2 on my sheet, but I might have miswrote it. Okay, so we got 2 total. So that should be enough to get this guy. Give him 1 when we pick him up, and then 1 as we drive to keep him not dead.
I mean, that sounds like a plan. I mean,
Okay.
not a great one, but it sounds like a plan.
All right, so fire and boom gun distraction, and then somebody drives in and grabs him. Wait, how fast is your motorcycle, Taggart?
220.
Okay.
And he's magic. But didn't you say you had a magic reason for wanting to go grab him? Is there a spell you're going to use?
Yeah.
More or less, yeah. I can technically, since we're on a ley line, I can get all of us out of here instantly. But it is expensive.
In what?
Metaphysically speaking.
Like you're not sure you have enough power to pull it off?
It could be difficult. It overtap me just a little bit. But because we're on a ley line, it helps a little. It's just a matter of hope.
Would some of the tree potion help you? If we gave you like half a bottle?
I don't know. Does that count towards PPE?
Yes.
Yes, you could drink it, and it'll refill everyone's PPE like fully if they drink one, or if you're not missing PPE, it will give you temporarily, if you drink an entire bottle, an extra 200 PPE.
Oh, I don't need quite that much.
Could he have half the bottle and Winter Song have half the bottle?
Yeah, he could do that.
So here, let me lay this out for you.
All right.
If we all get in the same location, I can open a rift to anywhere else on this ley line. Anywhere. You have a small margin of error. It's very small, actually. So that part's not too worrying. But it's expensive. And it requires that we get to him.
How exactly close do we have to be?
I need to be able to touch him.
Okay, so we all got to be touching.
Mm-hmm.
And does this transport our vehicles?
DM, does it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, I say David starts the fire. I fire my boom gun. And then we run in there?
Okay, I could also like Ozzy and I could be in one spot where everyone else is on almost the other angle. So we shoot, and then I'll start trying to get them to follow me on my bike and hope I'm fast enough I can loop around and meet you guys back and not die.
I honestly, Liv, you may not even need to be with Taggart because your bike's so fast. You could probably just run from these things.
Mm-hmm. Mine goes 300.
So I say David, Taggart, and Wintersong definitely need to be together, but the rest of us, me and you, could probably get away.
Mm-hmm. So we could be the distraction and just plan to meet up 100 miles east of here or something.
It's not we got the radios, so we can stay in
And
touch.
land navigation.
And land navigation. That sound good to everybody?
So what is it exactly you want me to do?
I want you to cause a big old fire.
But the problem is, I have no control over where the fire goes.
You can't just like go like where we are now and start a little fire and then we leave and it turns into a big fire.
I mean, it's basically I set the fire here and it goes wherever it goes. So I have no control over it once it starts.
I'm not too worried about it.
Well, because I don't. Eventually, I can learn to control it, but I don't know how to now.
It's regular fire. Is it magic fire or regular fire that you're starting?
It's magical while it's on me. It's normal after it leaves me. Like things I catch on fire aren't magical fire. Does that make sense? The damage I inflict is magical fire.
I'm not worried about Ozzy. Ozzy's got a 15-foot tall robot. He can run through a little bit of fire. Up to the rest of you guys.
Okay. Well, I was thinking maybe Ozzy and I could stand at like the kind of if we have the river. We're at the east point. We're gonna have Taggart and David standing on the westmost point. We fire and boom gun, try and get everyone looking our way and looking at us. Well, those guys run in from the back. And then as soon as we see them say on the radio or whatever that they're gone, we just start running.
Okay.
I think the fire might be more trouble than it's worth if he's not around to control it.
Yeah, well, I can't control it now.
And they're not damaged by non-magical fire. But I am.
All right.
Okay, so is David gonna get on the back of like Taggart's bike so they're together and go on the same speed, or?
That would be the best for us. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to run behind him.
Okay. So I'll give you the potion. I'll give Taggart the potion I have.
Okay.
And be like, when you get in there, you drink half, he drinks half, and then go. And then radio us and tell us where the hell you are.
I'm gonna radio Winter Song and tell him what we're doing.
In the back of my head, it's screaming, "Don't split the party!" But you know.
I have a question. Does for the mech, do you have like tracking beacons or something that you could give us so you would know where we are?
There's flares.
No, but between me and Liv, we do honestly do have land navigation, so I think we'll be able to find you guys.
Okay.
Find you all, yeah. I think so.
Mm-hmm. And then we can make a vague plan that if everything goes absolutely wrong, meet back up at the farm. If we can't get in contact with each other, everyone go back to the farm.
Yeah.
Okay. That would require leaving the ley line that he needs to form the sweat lodge, though, wouldn't it?
Right, but there's another ley line near the farm. It's not as powerful.
Yeah, how many people do you need to do the ritual to make him cured?
I'm sorry, Elmer. We're trying to plan this out. We really don't want to fight these guys.
You guys are making this so complicated. But he's going to need someone other than him to lead the ritual who can cast magic. So
it has to be Taggart because I can't cast magic.
You have elemental spells.
But that's not considered magic, they say.
That's weird.
The only magic I can cast is elemental magic. Because I can't draw on PPE outside of myself. I can only draw it from elementals. I can't draw it from ley lines or anything.
So it had to be Taggart.
Yeah, it would have to be him.
You guys can still go to the ley line and still do that. Just eventually we'll meet at the farm.
Yeah. The plan will be that wherever you're doing the ritual.
Okay, I'm just asking, why don't you guys just meet at the mercenary town that's much closer and on the ley line, and you have a friendly relationship with the person who operates the radio there, instead of going to the farm that's several hundred miles away on a different ley line?
I didn't know.
Okay, fair.
I thought it was
Which town is this?
Riverton?
The one I radioed.
talking to. Okay.
Yeah, that you guys talked to earlier today. That's only a couple days away, as opposed to the place that's more than a week away.
Have you been to the Popeyes next to the farm? Awesome. We got to get back there.
Okay, so the plan is we're gonna meet you in the river if we can, but if we don't get in contact soon enough, just head for town.
So if Riverton's on the ley line, I can just go straight there.
Then do that.
Yep.
And we'll meet you at Riverton. Hopefully.
Riverton isn't actually on the ley line. It's very close to the
just
ley
close
line.
to it. Okay.
So
But
go to
you
the
guys
ley line
could
next to
easily
Riverton.
go there and then walk there. I'm just saying, I don't understand why we keep talking about going back to the farm.
Because it's the farm.
That's where Kitnian is. He's my favorite.
No, Kitnian's at the Cheyenne Sioux. We talked about that at the beginning.
This has gone so far off the rails.
Maybe we should just kill the green things.
I don't want to fight them still. Okay, so you guys are at the westmost point. We are at the eastmost point. We're going to shoot them. You're going to grab the guy. You're going to zap to the town. We're going to run to the town. Yes?
Yep.
Wait, what if they follow you?
We're faster. That's why we're over here and you guys are over here.
Right.
Do you have force march, Taylor?
No, but I have the thing where I can literally run forever until I keel over.
That's right, you're a juicer.
For 5 days. Yeah, I can run for 5 days without sleep, and if I do need to sleep, it's only for 3 hours.
Okay.
And I go 10.
Yeah,
and I don't get exhausted.
Okay. Got all that, Elmer?
You guys can roll your attacks whenever you want.
Okay, so we're all separated now. You guys are at the west point. We're at the east point. We've told Winter Song. Everybody good to go?
Yep.
All right.
As a point, I'm going to leave Nibs with Liv.
Aww.
So that he can point you in our direction.
I love him. I'll hand you the potion. You hand me like this raccoon. Fair trade.
It's like the world's shadiest drug deal. You're both wearing trench coats and look around.
Shady bottle.
You hand me the raccoon. She hands you the stuff. Okay. Nibs is not.
What do I roll for the attack? I don't even know that. We haven't
Just go for the boom gun.
Yeah.
Nibs is not super excited about being separated from you, since Nibs is your familiar, but goes along with it.
Just point him towards us.
You roll a d20, add your boom gun strike bonus, and that's what you do.
I got a 16.
Okay, roll damage.
I hit for 80 mega damage.
Which one did you hit?
The green one we can see. And boy, is he going to be surprised.
How much damage did you do?
80.
Okay, so the boom gun goes off. The sonic boom vibrates across the plains, and you guys see the boom guns are rail guns. So you see the volley of electromagnetic rounds go flying forward. They rip through the chest of the stone giant, revealing the stone giant is hit by it, and it actually puts a hole through his chest. He doesn't even stand up before he dies. And the rest of the stone giants begin to jump up. I need initiatives.
Maybe we horribly overcalculate this.
Is that why Elmer's been looking at us with like this dead stare for like 20 minutes?
Actually, that's just because it's really
18.
hard to keep my mouth shut when you guys are planning. And I shouldn't be participating. 18. Got it.
But why are you going to the farm?
That was just too much.
The farm was like 50 miles away.
Yeah, in my head it was like right over the corner, like around the corner.
Taggart got an 11.
16.
David, what'd you get?
7.
Oh wait, I forgot to add my thing to my initiative. What is mine?
+5. Crazy.
+4.
You get bonus.
So I'm 22.
Juicer is just, yeah.
I have no magic, but I have a lot of guns.
And no skills, except land navigation.
I got research, prowl, and stabbing. Take your pick.
Okay,
I also have a
so
whip.
the remaining 7 stone giants, 6 of them grab large spears and begin running off in the direction towards where the boom gun shot came from.
So that part of the plan worked.
The 7th one that was remaining goes and stands over the one that has fallen and throws their head back, and there's a chant, and you see what looks like a red bird comes out of its mouth and just flies around it, leaving behind it like red dander falling in the air until it covers the stone giant that's on the ground in front of it, and you see the hole in its chest begins to close.
We didn't overestimate. We estimated just right.
And that's their turn. So, Liv, it's your turn.
Okay. So I'm going to use my bike attack to start with. So I'm going to use my triple pulse laser thing.
What's the range on that?
1,600 feet. Is that enough?
They aren't even close to that.
Okay. Are they
Remember,
within 4,000 feet?
The range on the boom gun is 2 miles.
Okay. How far are we away?
But I went back to, me and Liv were up. I went up closer so she could.
I thought we were a half mile.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys were a half mile away?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That
even
still
the
wouldn't be enough.
4,000. Yeah.
Mhm.
These things do not move that quickly.
But I thought 0.5 miles is 26,000 feet. Or
Oh, yeah,
2,600.
I was thinking 1 mile. So the 4,000 foot one you would be able to hit with.
Okay, so I pull out my rail gun. And let's see if that hits. Oop, I did a D30. Ignore that. 14.
That hits. Roll damage.
All right, that's 1d4 times 10. So 40.
Okay, you see the fire from the railgun hits it and does a good amount of damage. You can actually see it staggers and slows down, but it's still coming your way.
Okay. So when that one went to the green one, is the back of the building no longer covered? Like, are they all looking towards Ozzy and me?
Yes.
Or is someone looking the other way?
No, none of them are. They're all paying attention to the threat.
Okay.
It is Ozzy's turn.
I'm gonna shoot at the one that just burped up the bird.
Okay.
I got a 10.
That hits. Roll damage.
Yeah.
Boom.
I hit for exactly 100 mega damage.
Oh, shit.
You basically blow out the innards, and that one falls back.
Take that, you bird burping son of a bitch.
With
Falls back
dandruff?
like dead or just like damaged?
Like has a hole in it, and its torso is sliding down the force field, and its legs are still on the ground.
Cool.
But the other one, is it still dead? The one I was trying to heal.
Yeah.
Maybe we did overcalculate.
That's Ozzy's turn. Taggart, your turn.
I'm going to zip towards the sweat lodge with David on the back of the bike.
Okay. So you get to the edge of the sweat lodge, and it is not has not been Wintersong's turn yet, so he hasn't done anything.
Cool. I'm just radio to him saying, "Hey, could you lower the shield or open it up for us?"
Are you doing anything else?
I don't want to draw their attention, so no.
Yeah, I don't want to draw their attention either.
Okay, so Wintersong goes next. So the force field is dropped. And David, it's your turn.
Yeah, I guess just help him so we can start. So
you go into the sweat lodge?
yes.
Okay, you burst into the sweat lodge and you see Wintersong is there and he is emaciated. And you can actually see he is glowing slightly green. And he's holding a bag of, you can only guess it's his supplies. And you can actually hear him kind of wheezing just from standing. The interior of the sweat lodge, you see that it is decorated with various Plains Indian symbols. And Wintersong just looks like death warmed over. Are you doing anything else?
I mean, I can literally, if he can't walk, I can literally pick him up and carry him.
Don't
You know
forget
what I
the
mean?
potion.
Oh, we have you have the potion. Taggart has the potion to give him.
So you're going to scoop up Wintersong, so you're carrying him?
Yeah, so I'm taking it back to because my strength is 26. I'm assuming that's enough to lift him up.
Yeah. When you touch him, it kind of makes your flesh crawl if his skin feels wrong. But okay, you have him. And that brings us back around to the Stone Giants initiative. The first one that Ozzy shot stands back up and is actually apparently aware that the force field is gone as he turns around and he points at Taggart and you see what look like white wisps come out of his mouth and go flying towards Taggart. You can roll an action. You can either try to dodge this attack, which will take one of your actions, so you would lose an action from their end of combat. You cannot parry this attack, so it's either dodge or get hit at this point.
I'll try to dodge. That's fine.
Okay.
It's just a D20.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good.
I don't think you have a bonus to dodge at all.
I don't think so. Just
You do have Luck of Heroes where you get to reroll 1 dice per session.
She's correct. What did you get, sir?
It's a 6.
Yes, that is a failure, unless you want to use that Luck of Heroes.
I'm gonna do that for an 18 instead.
That does work. And, okay, Luck of Heroes means that you should have failed, but something out of your control and strange happened that saved you. What was it? So basically, there's little screaming ghosts coming at you.
Okay. So I attempt to dodge out of the way, but instead I hit a shelf and fall prone. And like something just catches in front of me and blocks the ghosties.
Okay, it's a fetish that's made out of precious stones and feathers. And basically the ghosts hit the fetish and it's like tossing it into a blender. And you see they take the pieces and bring them back to the giant that seems very angry, and he calls them, "You stupid fools! I want him, not this junk." Because he's a bad guy, he says fools. It's just the way it is.
Mhm.
The rest of the giants are continuing to run up. Well, five of the remaining 6 continue running up the enclosure towards Liv and Ozzy. They've about covered half the distance at this point. And the last one stops that's wearing the cages around his neck. And he stops and crushes one of the cages. And you guys hear like a little scream. Ah! I need Liv to roll a magic saving throw.
Okay, that's not my strong suit.
So I need you to roll a d20. And if you have anything under your save section that applies to magic, you would apply that. Oh! Nat 20.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't have anything extra to that.
You resist his curse of ill luck.
I just flip him off.
That curse of ill luck, by the way, is a beast of an ability. So be glad you made that saving throw.
Oh yeah, I just pet Nibs. I assume it's his doing that I'm saved.
Nib's doing something with his hands.
Yeah, he's just like all grabby claws and just like that.
He actually catches the curse in midair and puts his little raccoon pocket and pets it.
100%.
Okay. Like I said, the Giants closed the distance. They're halfway to you. They're only 2 rounds away at this point. And it is now Liv's turn.
Hey, Liv, before you go real fast, I'd like to give a shout out to Tales from the Table Studios who just followed us.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
So, thanks.
They were in my Masks game, and they were badass. So if there's anyone else listening who doesn't follow Tales from the Table yet, you should check out some of their content. Kristen and I think it's Amber. I hope I'm not saying the wrong name. I think Kristen and Amber made some pretty awesome characters, so I would check out their other stuff. Anyway, Liv, what are you doing?
Firstly, I'm gonna just scream out, "Leave so we can," which I'm assuming the Giants won't get, but Taggart and David assuming will know to leave right now. And then how close are they to us? How many feet?
They'd be about math. About 1,000 feet.
Okay, cool.
And I have a question for the GM.
What's up?
Okay, are we actually inside the sweat lodge now? So can the Giants see through the walls of the sweat lodge that we're inside to know that we're there? How can they target us with spells inside if they can't see us?
Okay. Well, first he knew that the barrier had fallen because he could detect the change. They have natural magical detection abilities, and I'm assuming you guys didn't carefully close the doors and the windows, so he could see through the door.
Sweat Lodge doesn't have windows.
Well, he could see through the door.
Okay, I won't argue with you on this point, but okay.
Okay.
I was just concerned. I was just curious.
Well, also Taggart never said that he actually went in the sweat lodge. I just went along with what he said to dodge.
Okay. Do you think my oil slick would be effective against stone giants? To give us a good getaway? Because I'm hoping on their next turn that they're going to just zap out of here, and then we're going to start running. So should I attack, or should I help with our escape?
I say oil slick, because, next turn I was going to start running.
All right. So I'm going to do my oil slick, which is a 50 area, 30% chance of slipping, minus 25% sense of balance, takes D4 melee actions to get up again, 30% chance of failure. Okay. And then do I need to roll to see if I can do that? Or is it just inherent in my bike? I don't remember.
It just puts a blob of oil in front of you, like all the dice rollings when they enter the area.
Cool. Yeah, now I have to run uphill over an oil slick.
Okay. So that's Liv's turn. Ozzy, what are you doing?
I am. I'm gonna shoot at the one that targeted Taggart.
Okay. So at the one that's at the camp trying to get into the sweat lodge.
Yeah. And I rolled a 14.
Okay, that hits. Roll damage.
mega damage.
Okay, you hit him pretty hard. He's actually still up.
Damn it.
Hmm.
Okay, taking this dice and throwing it across the room.
Okay, Taggart, your turn.
Okie dokie. So I'm gonna get up real quick and use dimensional travel to open a rift within the sweat lodge, which should, per the rules, since I am traveling along a ley line, will cost half of the normal cost, which dimensional travel is 125 plus 25 per person, so it should be 175 PPE normally, which halved was 87.5.
87 because we round all fractions in PC favor.
Okay, so 87, which I can do just by myself, actually. And that will open up like a tear in reality. And I'll just say it's best not to go facing forward, and I'll spin on my heel and fall backwards through it. Just towards Riverton, all along the ley line.
Okay, so basically it lets you out. You fall backwards through it, and you fall backwards into about 6 inches of water where the river is really shallow.
Mhm.
And you can actually hear some like happy music playing in the distance in the city.
Cool.
Okay.
That should stay open just long enough for David and Wintersong to come through. So I've specified 2 additionals. So
Okay, Wintersong's turn is next. He's not doing anything, so it's David's turn.
Yep. So okay. I guess I will go up to it, turn around, and then walk backwards through it, since he suggested that.
Okay, it's very disorienting because you're looking at the inside of the sweat lodge, and you walk backwards, and then you see the outside of the rift and looking into the sweat lodge, and then you take a couple more steps and find yourself standing in about ankle deep mud in the river, and you can see the interior of the sweat lodge from before.
Okay.
And Taggart, I'm assuming the rift closes immediately after all the people you paid for.
Wintersong has also gone through?
Yeah, I was carrying him.
Yes, then it closes immediately after, because that is all I have paid for.
Okay, so I picture it like collapsing like those slider portals from the old TV show.
Yeah.
And you guys are gone. You guys are out of there. What'd you say?
I was thanking Tails for showing up. They're going to grab some water.
Good for them.
Giving some thumbs up.
And then you see from there, that brings it back around to the Stone Giant's turn. And the one that Rodney shot bursts into the sweat lodge, and you guys hear him yelling, "No, tiny man made it away! No!" You can hear him like destroying the stuff inside the sweat lodge.
Oh, he's pissed. We gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
And the one with the cages around his neck, looks around, and he puts his arms out and he just shouts really loud, "Stop!" And the other stone giants all stop running up the hill, and they turn around and come back to him. And the one with the cages around its neck look over at Ozzy, and they shout, "Is this what Clockwork Man wanted? The death of the shaman?"
No, I just wanted some really good pickles, and I'm just kind of here by accident. I'm sorry. I gotta leave. Goodbye.
And it's Liv's turn.
Okay. Can I both deploy my smoke screen and start driving away, or is it one or the other?
One or the other.
Okay. I'm going to deploy my smoke screen because I really want to.
Okay.
So it's a 60 foot by 20 feet. That's a 2d4, and it's a -5 to strike for them through it to us. And then 2d4. So it lasts 4 minutes, and it's -5 to all of their strikes. Or it's -5 to parry, dodge, or strike.
Okay. Noted. Ozzy, what are you doing?
I am running away from here.
Mhm.
I am robot bodies turning and running. Actually, no, I'm hopping. That's right. I'm running a little bit, and I'm,
Liv, are you going to make any more attacks on them, or are you just leaving?
I'm leaving.
Okay, you guys hear a 5 voices, deep voices raised in what sounds like a funeral dirge in their language as you guys drive off in the night. The stone giants do not pursue and do not attack. And I think that's a good spot to end the game for the night. And it'll pick up with you guys meeting up together in Riverton. So yeah, we're gonna call it a little bit early tonight just because it's a good closing moment. But we are going to do the usual questions. After discussing it in the channel, we've made a slight change. We're getting rid of the "What did you like?" question and replacing it with "What was your favorite moment?" So I'm going to start with Liv. Liv, what was your favorite moment tonight?
I think our little rave party, as soon as we heard the making music, was my favorite moment because that is like the perfect image in my head.
So chaotic PC RPG vibes from that. Like that's
right,
just the
bone
sort of
drums.
nonsense you expect. Ozzy, what was your favorite moment?
I like that the building full of skulls combined with the underground facility full of brains are probably connected somehow. I like how that worked up. I hope we get to do something with that.
Okay. David, what was your favorite moment of the night?
My favorite moment of the night was the shaman with the necklace of cages around his neck.
Yeah, that was stolen from Peso.
Yeah, it reminds me of one of my favorite things from Peso, the Necklace of Lovelies. It's the necklace with the little cages that have fairies in it. And you can either kill them for extra life or kill them for set them free for extra luck. So I really enjoyed the cages in the necklace. I thought that was a neat idea.
Yeah, I thought it was a neat way to give them a magical item that you guys could have retrieved to kind of simulate what they do anyway. But yeah, so I'm glad you enjoyed that. Taggart, what was your favorite moment?
Opening my first in-game rift.
Woohoo!
Woo, I think it's the first one we've ever done.
Because when you actually made your saving throw against the magic that was coming against you, I was hoping you were going to open like a little rift to catch them in. Like you opened a little rift in front of you, they flew in, and then you closed it. That's what I thought you were going to do.
I thought about it, but I felt like opening one rift was chaos enough.
Yeah. But
And that's
dangerous.
Because the idea that I thought of was from 7th Sea, where they have the people that can open the portals. Forte mages, they can open portals to catch like cannonballs and bullets and things like that. So that's what I was thinking. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was say big 7th Sea energy there. We're still revamping the questions, but I'm going to stick with what did you learn for the moment. So, Liv, what did you learn tonight?
We are either very lucky or very good at planning. I'm not really sure which one is the true statement there, but I'm sure we'll find out in future.
Could be both.
Could be both.
Things can be true.
But yeah, I like.
Ozzy, what did you learn?
I learned that in the Rifts game, we use the oil slick like every session. It's awesome every time. And every time we use it, it just gets funnier and funnier. Like the last time it's undead skeleton guys kind of slipping around, and this time they didn't get on it, but this time it would have been 15-foot tall stone guys just falling everywhere.
I always hear the Benny Hill music in my head when the oil slick is deployed.
Oh my God! Is it a sexy party?
Sexy party.
Like Family Guy.
Yes. David, what did you learn?
Well, apparently that there is a monster that in the rooms of Tolkien that used to be you, and that they're feeding life force and energy to awaken and do something horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me wonder if it was responsible for if that's why the town fell, because somebody was funneling, like, gave the people that live there their life force away to this thing. That's what I'm thinking.
We'll see. All interesting theories, but we hinted at something was off in Tolkien when you guys were originally in Skeletown. Taggart, what did you learn?
I learned that you should really plan ahead when rifting, because it just occurs to me that I totally left my bike behind.
You sure did.
I thought you said the vehicles go with, but I guess.
Oh, it totally could have if I'd driven it through, but I walked. Oops.
We'll buy you a new one.
Finally, something to spend all those credits on that you guys. Oh,
I'll
wait, you didn't get any
boost
credits
one.
this game.
We'll bring up some harness thing on the Clear Boy.
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I didn't
Like a
purchase
baby
that one
carrier.
either. So
I kind of want to see you in a baby swaddle on top of like the glitter boy.
Ozzy's been trying so hard to make that happen since the beginning.
I want to carry somebody.
David out of the backpack, him as on the front.
No, you need like what's it called? A papoose, the little thing that you put on your back that an infant stays in.
I was
Yes,
thinking like one of those cat carriers, where the cat can look around.
with a little like bubble
Yeah, the
window
bubble.
for him to look out.
I'm big enough, like two of you could stand in there.
Yeah, and apparently Nibs has magical powers. That was decided this game.
Okay, I'm keeping him until you get a new bike, just so you know.
okay.
Okay, last question. Conspiracy theories, ideas about what's going on. Jan already touched on this a little bit, but what does Liv think? Any theories or ideas?
I think it's going to be interesting with the Tolkien thing with like my character background, because like kind of my knee-jerk reaction when hearing all of that was like, but it's going to destroy all of the coalition, right? Was like my very first reaction. I was like, and I'm like, wait, I'm not a bad character.
In that, if you destroy the world, it'll destroy them too.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, but you only said all the coalition and like what's left of Tolkien, and I was like, might be worth it. If it's the whole world, then no. But I'm very invested, and I feel like it's going to be a little morally gray because I'm kind of prejudiced to anything that destroys the coalition is good.
So it's going to be a more at what cost sort of question for Liv at some point.
Exactly. It's like I'm going to be interesting having to like really think about what I do or don't want to do, because Liv is kind of a juicer and going to die in 2 years. So what does she really care?
Ozzy, any conspiracy theories or ideas about what's going on?
No, Ozzy's just very confused at this point. He's there's a lot going on. He hasn't connected any of it, I don't think. Rodney has some ideas, but Ozzy doesn't. Ozzy's just going along with things right now.
Do you want to share any of Rodney's ideas?
I touched on it last game, and I think the coalition is taking over. Trying to take over the surrounding territories slowly as we see some of their people there. We didn't catch them this game, but I think they're out there. Yeah, and I think these are just scouting parties.
Okay. David/Jan, any more conspiracy theories you want to talk about?
Yes, I think the necromancer at Devil's Tower is up to something. I think he's in cahoots with aliens.
Oh, cahoots.
You know, in any other game system, you're like, that's crazy, but Rifts, probably.
Well,
Good chance.
technically, a DB is an alien, is it not? An alien is something not native to Earth.
Yep.
So he could be summoning something extraplanar that would be an alien. So I think that has something to do with what's going on as well.
Okay, Taggart/Ludo, any conspiracy theories?
Yeah, hearing about the dimensional entity in Tolkien, Taggart is deeply conscious of his background and wonders if his mentor is at all related to this thing. And probably innately believes that he's probably got some sort of fingers in this pie. Because why wouldn't he? Just makes too much sense.
Okay. As usual, experience will be put up in the chat. I'm pretty sure that Liv is going to level up this time.
I think everybody should. I mean, everybody's been. Taggart might not because you weren't here the first.
Yeah, I think I'm like 5 away. So if I get at least 5 experience points, I'm level 2.
Did anybody make a successful skill check?
I made 4.
Yes.
I made 4 successful skill checks as well.
That means you guys are getting at least 200 experience just from skill checks. So yes, leveling up is happening. Yeah, I have to figure out what to do about experience. We are tracking it every game, and you guys have the separate experience charts. I am just inclined to let everyone have all experience from the beginning, just because it gets to be such a pain in the neck when people are vastly different levels.
I mean, who's to say what everybody's doing when they're not here? Kitnian could be fighting people too, so.
It just cuts to like Kitnian, Maverick, and
they have
Jack,
the beach episode.
Just being surrounded by like War of the World style alien ships. Okay.
They finally meet up and be like, "You'll never believe this."
It's like, isn't that another one of your stories, Kitnian? Really? Same for the kids.
Aw. Okay, guys. I think that wraps it up. We are not going to have another game in 2 weeks because more than half of us are not going to be available. So keep an eye out on the Twitter. For all the viewers, keep an eye out on Twitter to find out when the next game is. Everybody else, we'll chat in Discord and figure it out.
Yep.
Okay.
Alrighty, it was good to see everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
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 Before I went, I wanted to show everybody Elvis because I was talking about him. See how creepy he is. Look at this. It's just weird. So creepy.
I've always been creeped out about it, but you moving the lips somehow makes it weird.
Yeah, you can just do whatever you want with this guy. But you can see the jacket, how old it is. Look at that. He's just tattered. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's haunted. So I take good care of him. So
you need to get him a crown.
Waiting for like the game when we log in, and it's just the bust of Elvis in your seat.
I've thought about that, and just crouching behind here and just
come back from break.
Yep, come back from break and doing that. So that might happen. Yeah, he needs a haircut. This is pretty. Elvis, man. So actually, somebody actually, real quick, somebody had one of these, and they actually removed the skin from it, and it's about horrifying as you would think. It's very, very Terminator kind of skeleton underneath, so it's weird. So thanks for watching, everybody. Our weird stream where I showed you Elvis. You can find me on Twitter under Dr. Zoggle and on the Homebrew Shomebrew. Elmer.
That reminds me, I'm Homebrew Shomebrew on Twitter, and everyone, we do have another podcast episode going up this coming Thursday. We'll be interviewing Russ from Yum DM. He does a D&D zine that's all old school stuff. So if you're interested in learning about OSR or West Marches games, check out the podcast episode. It'll be dropping Thursday morning.
Bye, y'all.